6:30 p.m. is that big cabinet meet. Let's go across to Polami for more on this. Polami, what are you hearing? What is this cabinet meeting about? The agenda, the list of bills doesn't suggest anything out of the ordinary. This seems to be pretty routine, but there is still an air of speculation over what Team Modi could be pulling out of their hat. What are you hearing, Polami?
Well, as far as the cabinet agenda is concerned, it's still under wraps. We don't know what exactly the agenda of this cabinet meeting is at 6:30, but obviously it's given rise to a lot of speculation after it was, after we learned from our sources that this cabinet meeting is happening at about 6:30 p.m. this evening. Usually cabinet meetings should happen on Wednesdays, but this time round it's happening on a Monday, on the first day when the special session has convened. It's happening at 6:30. And that's, added to the speculation that possibly because the government has listed business for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, it has in fact earmarked these days for listed government legislative business. It's possible that, the cabinet will be taking up something which would be cleared by the cabinet today in order to be brought before Parliament by Wednesday. There's a lot of speculation. We've discussed those, theories in the past as well about these very specific bills, some high profile as well. What has picked up steam since then, of course, is the women's reservation bill. That's only because, there are various signs that suggest that possibly the government is looking at bringing the women's reservation bill to Parliament this time round, not just because it was in the BJP's election manifesto in 2014 and 2019, and we know that the government is going through that election manifesto and those promises that they've made, from the Ram Temple to UCC to the abrogation of Article 370. They're going through those listed promises in the manifesto, and women's reservation was a part of it. The way the opposition has preempted it and has been raising its voice in support of women's reservation bill yesterday at the all-party meeting called by the government pre-session. Today in the House, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Mallikarjun Kharge all speaking up for supporting I beg your pardon, expressing their support for the women's reservation bill. It's the Prime Minister's reference to the contribution of women parliamentarians, 600 of them in the past 75 years. All of this has given rise to speculation that the women's reservation bill could be brought to Parliament. Now, some, of course, just a quick word, some, of course, argued that, this was a bill which was passed in 2009 in the Rajya Sabha. It wasn't taken up in the Lok Sabha for consideration, and as a result, it lapsed. But I've spoken with a couple of experts, and they've said a bill which has been passed by this, the Council of States, which is the upper house of Parliament, is very much alive. But why the cabinet meeting then? They could just bring that bill? No. Right. If this government wants to make a few specific changes, wants to draft its own bill as far as women's reservation is concerned, then there's a possibility that the cabinet could discuss that today, bring it to the House on Wednesday.
Okay, very, very interesting. The women's reservation bill, seeming to stand out just a little bit more in this canvas of speculation, especially since you've got the RSS, you've got the Congress, you've got the BRS and certain others all talking about women's reservation. Now, Mahua Maitra also spoke about it a short while ago. So that appears to be setting the mood for what could possibly, we still don't know for sure, but it could be based on what the members of Parliament are also sensing. Of course, the government keeping everything very close to its chest. That big cabinet meeting 75 minutes from now. Polami, thanks very much for getting us that specific update.